So this happened to me today.
Oh no! Oh no! No, you didn't!
The chicken tastes as if it's been sitting alone in a bucket for a while.
Alright, what is going on, Transformer fans? This is the video review of the Transformers Prime Beast Hunters Deluxe Class Smokescreen. So for those of you that don't know, Beast Hunters is actually a division of the Transformers Prime toy line that debuted alongside the third season of the Transformers Prime show that went under the same name. Mostly it was just rehashed versions of molds we already had, like this guy, with a neat little flair, kind of a change up in design, and, you know, just overall, they looked a little different, but essentially were the same thing. Occasionally, though, you would get a new figure, and Smokescreen is one of those new molds. One of the few to actually come out of the Beast Hunters line. So here in vehicle mode, you can see he's got the obligatory Beast Hunter parts, and they include a missile with this weird little net on it, and that can come off, but it doesn't really do anything. Most of this crap on him is pointless, so this really makes no sense. It doesn't really do anything, as does the piece that sits on the front of his bumper, or around his front of the car mode. It tabs it on the sides, and it also tabs it on the front, and it really does nothing but look like it. So, I mean, it's nice that they threw that stuff in there, but totally unnecessary. So looking at his basic car mode, you can see it looks a lot like the show. It's a nice white sports car. It's got the 38 on the side, with a lot of blue and red detailing, yellow lights. The front looks really good with all the molding. You know, the 38s and the red striping look good. Dark black wheels. A really awesome spoiler with red on the side. He has some kind of purpley windshield pieces that, fortunately, they look nice, but you can see inside and see his hands and stuff. You've got nothing on the back. It's just this sea of white. And I will say underneath here, we'll talk about this later, but some of this has been modified. The guy who owned this figure before I did kind of colored him a little bit differently. But yeah, for the most part, he's a nice little car, and I really like him. Just to show him off next to a Combiner Wars figure, here he is next to Wheeljack, who has the biggest similarity. You can see Wheeljack is a lot bigger than Smokescreen, so Smokescreen was back when they started making figures super small, and I think it's super evident now that we're kind of coming out of that trend, and we're getting some bigger deluxes now. So, but yeah, Smokescreen is definitely a victim of the small deluxe era. Transformation on this guy is, I guess we can say, unique, and I'm just gonna warn you, it's not great. So let's take a look at what you have to do here. First and foremost, you want to take the hood and pop it loose from itself, but you don't want to pop it all the way up, because then they'll get in the way of each other. Let's see here. Come on. So you want to pop it up just a little bit. Then you want to loosen up the front of the bumper and bring it out like so, but not all the way out. Then you want to split the legs, and, well, first you want to bring the doors up and out like so. Split those, unpeg the roof from the doors. Then you can split the legs. Then what you want to do is get the hood out of the way. See, now they're overlapping one another, so you gotta finagle this and get this out here. And then this whole assembly, like, it comes out on this wheel. This wheel is on a joint, this part's on a joint, the shoulder's on a joint, and the shoulder ball joints are really prone to popping off. So, and then you want to get the door, well, this panel comes out of the way too. The doors come up and out. Oh, but then you got to get the head out of the way, so you got to flip that. No, wait, you got to flip this around, and the head around, and then you gotta get the doors up out of the way. And I don't know if you can tell, but he basically explodes. His transformation is a sloppy mess. I mean, he basically just explodes. And this is coming from a guy who really liked Revenge of the Fallen Optimus Prime, but that figure exploded and he felt like he was changing. He felt like he exploded and reassembled himself, just like in the movie. This guy wants to explode and just stay like an awful, nasty mess. He's just not cohesive at all. It's as if his natural state is exploded and just everything out like this. It's a pain to get him in vehicle mode. It's a pain to get him in robot mode. All the parts are so finicky, and they all just don't like to go together. But moving on, you're going to want to rotate the waist 180 degrees. Then you're going to want to flip this panel up, flip this toe out. Then rotate the shin guard over, and it kind of friction tabs in, but it will definitely come loose. Flip this out, flip down the foot, rotate the shin guard around and tab it in. His waist is super loose as well. Okay, so then what you want to do now is, it's already done it, but these windshield pieces fold down and under. And then the wheels, which were out like this, now rotate around, and one of the spokes sits on, there's this little, I'll lower this, it sits on this little tab in here. So the wheel actually, and you gotta have the doors out of the way, otherwise they bump into everything, and you gotta have the shoulders out of the way, otherwise they bump into everything. The wheels kind of go in here and they tab in alongside the center column. So you gotta rotate them, you gotta mess with the shoulders, get everything out of the way, get the doors out of the way, get the wheel in here, and it kind of tabs on there. Then you can raise the doors up, which kind of helps get it out of the way. And then actually you got to get the head in the right position now, and these little teeth back here peg into the back of his neck. Yeah. And then this front panel comes up, and there's another little tooth that tabs in on the front of his neck. So you're kind of trying to solidify all this together. You're trying to make sure all these panels don't go running off. You want to make sure the shoulder bits are down as much as they can be. Actually, no, up like that, my mistake. And then you want to rotate the shoulder pads down on them. Make sure the hood is folded up on the roof of the car, and then this whole section swings around to the back of the arm. Just same over here. And then you're going to want to straighten him up because he desperately wants to be in pieces. And you're going to have to readjust some panels and just make sure everything's solid. And just like that, there you have Smokescreen in his robot mode. As you can tell, the robot mode looks really freaking good, but the transformation is so difficult, it's almost not worth it to get to it. Here in robot mode, you can tell that they went to some effort to make him look like he does in the show. I mean, there's a fake chest and the shoulders, and everything is supposed to evoke the character. But what gets me is they have so many paint flaws that just doesn't work. His head is not supposed to have all that blue on it, and it just really makes no sense. This red right here is what was added in, and that fortunately helps. But I feel like they added too much blue when they should have added a little bit more red. His eyes are also yellow, so that's weird. But maybe this toy was designed before the show actually debuted. I don't know. You can see a lot of really nice detailing going all the way down to his legs here. He's got the black feet, and then coming up some more you can see nice red kneecaps and some really cool blue striping. But for the most part, he's a solid white figure. And, you know, he's got detailing here and there, but he's mostly white, which is fine because that's the character. So we're going to go ahead and compare him to first edition Bumblebee. And we just going to slide him right in here. And as you can see, they're about the right scale. Smokescreen is a little bit shorter than Bumblebee, which is fine because he ended up being the youngest member on the team after Beast Hunters started. But they look really nice together, and he scales really nice with everybody. And, you know, this Bumblebee's a little bit chunky anyway, so, you know, it looks decent. Coming back to his Beast Hunters parts, I am kind of required to mention them because it is an actual part of the toy, and if I was to leave it out, it would falsely color the figure. He does have parts that are designed to allow this to fit on him in robot mode, and unfortunately it lies along this center mass where all the finagling just happened. So what you do is you basically, there's these little teeth on the side, I don't know if you can see them. You basically just kind of pry this over those teeth, and yeah, that's it right there. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. This completes the whole look. Yeah, there we go. Beast Hunter Smokescreen, everybody. Yeah, look at that. He's ready to fight some beasts. Posability on this guy is not too bad. You get a full neck rotation. Actually, you can kind of dislocate his neck and slide all the way around to the back. He's kind of got a little attitudinal wobble. His arms, these shoulder pads, first and foremost, move up out of the way. So you get a pretty good range of motion with his shoulder, with a ball joint cut out to the side, and you get a upper arm rotation and a elbow bend. But you got to be careful. Like I said, this ball joint is super loose, especially on mine anyway. He has a waist articulation, and it works. But number one, it's super thin, and so it doesn't have a lot to grab onto. So I often catch it like wiggling itself, which is kind of weird. But he has hips with a ball joint, and then upper thigh rotation, a knee bend, and then a little bit of an ankle rock, because that's the way he transforms. So I mean, he's decently posable. Just good luck having him hold a pose without something fidgeting and maybe coming out of place, you know. But I mean, for the most part, you can get some good poses out of him. So final thoughts on Smokescreen. I think that he's overall a mediocre figure. I mean, he's got a great vehicle mode and a great robot mode that are super accurate to the show. His paint apps could be a little bit better, but the transformation just kind of ruins him. It feels like they tried to do too much. I think at the end of the day, the fact that Smokescreen's not really sought after is kind of an indication of how good of a figure he is. I mean, it's pretty evident that he faded into mediocrity. I only collected him because I just got my memory jogged that he existed, and I got a really good deal on him. So the fact that I didn't seek him out initially speaks more than anything else I could have said. So I think Smokescreen was a good idea, and it just kind of failed a little bit in execution. Overall, I mean, it's got good features, but there's a couple detrimental flaws that just make it you know, I feel like it's neither good nor bad. It just is in the middle. The good counteracts the bad. It's just like, this figure just is meh. So, with that being said, thank you for watching this video. I'll talk to you guys later.